What's up? So, have you ever been in public or just maybe a family meeting, I don't know, and you notice somebody's tattoos and you wonder like, man, what do they mean? Where did they get them from? What's the story behind them? I know I do, but I got tattoos. But I love to know the story behind some of those. So I figured I'd make a video of what my tattoos mean. If you've got any interest in it, what I would love is to hear what your tattoos mean in the comments below. What do you have, and what does it mean? Send a picture if you can through the comments. If not, all good. But I think that's interesting. So, anyways, I'm gonna start off with my first tattoo. My first tattoo. My first tattoo was my firstborn. The people I grew up with, you had to get a tattoo. Like it was kind of the culture that I grew up in, and I wasn't allowed to have any tattoos when I was living with my mom, and she just didn't believe in them, didn't like them, respected that, and didn't get a tattoo till I moved out. And shortly after moving out, I had my first kid. So that's my first tattoo. It's her name with the day that she was born. And after that, I got kind of hooked. My next tattoo was the R and the G, which is my first name and last name, my initials. But I wanted to kind of like tell a story, like who was the ones who raised me when I was younger. And in my mind, I thought my mom, this is her initials, and my grandma, which is underneath the G. So it's the two people essentially who helped grow me when I was younger. It was at my buddy's shop, and the guy, I don't think he's there anymore. He was rushing a little bit, and that's why it's a little crooked. A little crooked, but whatever. It's all good. It's all about the storytelling, right? This right here, I want to say my mom freaked out. She hated them, did not like them, may even shed a tear that day. It was tough, but I love tattoos. I love drawing. I'm an art guy, so I like to draw and stuff like that. And I drew on myself all the time growing up anyway, so kind of the natural progression, right? Next is this. So not a lot of people see this or even know what this is. So this is a Hispanic woman in front of a car with the Mexican flag behind her. Interesting story on this one. At the time, I was dating a Mexican girl and or woman, a Mexican woman, and I loved her family. So when I walked up to first meet them for the first time, they asked me a question I was not ready for. I'm not gonna talk about it here, but I was outside. They didn't let me inside till they talked to me. So just from that, I love that respect that they had, and the not anybody can just be welcome to the family. You got to prove yourself, right? And I love that. The family was big. I didn't grow up with a big family. So the family was a big family, and holidays and events. It was cool to go to those, and everybody just had fun. Everybody was themselves. If they made fun of you, they did it to your face and not behind your back. It was a cool just play around, have fun type of atmosphere. And they helped me out a ton. Basically, the head honcho of the family, I would sit down and talk with him. Not talk, actually. I would listen more than talk. He came from nothing and became a very successful entrepreneur. He taught me a lot of great things. And one thing I always hold on to is you can never control the first thought in your mind, but you can always control the second. And what he meant by that was you're going to have negative thoughts that tell you what you can do, what you can't do, who you should have in your life, who you shouldn't have in your life. But you can always beat up that first thought with an amazing positive thought. Maybe you're beating yourself down, right? He said you can't control your first thought, but you can always control your second. And I really took that to heart. I was younger. I wanted to prove to him that I could do some pretty cool stuff in real estate because that's the jam he was in. He's done a lot, though. He grew restaurants and all this. But anyways, I started feeling the love of that Mexican family. So I got a Mexican tattoo. I was younger. Man, how old was I? 19? If I weren't younger, a little bit older. But, I was really, really, really feeling the love and the acceptance and, working yourself up to that. Matter of fact, when I was working at UPS, if I had a vacation, say I had 3-week vacations during the year, when I took a vacation off, I'd work with that head honcho in some of his rental properties. I just want to be part of that. So that's where that came from. I can make a whole video about that life. But yeah, that was cool. And that's where this actually came from. So it's a little embarrassing now because I don't speak a lick of Spanish. I'm some country dude. So it reminds me of that family, which was pretty awesome. I want to say my next tattoo is this. So these are three elephants with some flowers. And my wife and I actually got elephants tattooed on us after our wedding, which was pretty cool because that was her first tattoo. And it's a smaller elephant and it's on her back. But you know, I'm like, I gotta get a big old elephant. Pretty cool artist, a female in Wilmington, North Carolina. And she was off the hook. And she did it and it was really cool. That's me in the front and that's me protecting my family. I wanted to get it and she loves elephants, so it's pretty cool. And elephants, for whatever reason, have just played a part in my family's life. My great grandma, you know, she loved elephants and it just kind of played all the way down to me having an elephant tattoo. All right, so a few more. So these are hands and they're shaking. The reason I got that is because if you look close, you can see that they have they're wearing long sleeves, right? And that you could tell that they're dressed well and they're shaking a hand. And what this symbolizes, you'll notice very quickly, I'm a symbol guy. What it symbolizes is trust, honor, what I say I'm gonna do, I'm going to do. It's the old school way. If I shake on it, I mean it. And I think we're lost in that in some areas of society. So I hold on to that. I love the old school flavor of that. When I look at you in your eyes and I shake hands on it, then it is what it is. If I tell you I'm going to do something, then I'm going to do it. It's on my hand that I shake. I'm right-handed. So it's just simple that, hey, what I say is what I'll do. The next, which actually I have a t-shirt of this, it says family is thicker than blood. And what I mean by that is we've had family that have backstabbed us. Sure, you've had family that has backstabbed you. And what I found is that my friends at the time, when my family was, you know, not all my family, of course, but I didn't grow up with a big family, and there's a reason for that. When they did backstab the family or whatever, then what I noticed is that my friends that were living in my neighborhood, they had my back more. And I started to realize at a very young age that it's not so much your blood, right? Like that will stick with you to the end, and some will, but it's your family who will stick with you to the end. And your family does not have to be blood. It could be your friends. It could be your wife. It could be your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. They're not blood. Well, in some parts of the country, I'm sure that they might be blood, but that's family, man. That's family. They're gonna be there for you when you need them, and you better be there for them when they need you. And it's vice versa. There's respect. There's honor. There's trust. I just think family's thicker than blood. And again, I got a t-shirt of that. So if you want to buy a t-shirt below, look in the description. But yeah, that's what that tattoo means. You're also going to see a few dogwood flowers all around, which my youngest loves these dogwood flowers. I'm from North Carolina, and that's our flower. So I got the dogwood flower, and there's a meaning behind how many of them I have tattooed on me. And it's just places that we have moved to, or that I've moved to. And each time I move somewhere in North Carolina, there's gonna be another dogwood flower. So they're all on this arm. They're pretty, they're beautiful, and it's always been a symbol of North Carolina. So here I am. Now, I also got this flower right here. I ended up becoming really good friends with the tattoo artist that did this. He now owns his own company, Sovereign Tattoo Society, which is in a lot of our videos. I'm wearing the t-shirt, but this is his signature flower right here. So anyways, I got that. That's his signature tattoo. And I just wanted something to break up a lot of the very seriousness that I have, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more, with a beautiful flower. And why not from somebody who's done a lot of these tattoos on me. This right here is an old school hammer. All right, it's a hammer. If you look at it, it doesn't look like it's beaten up, and it's still surviving. This hammer right here to me symbolizes entrepreneurship, which I love entrepreneurship. Apparently I've been in it for a long time, before I even knew I was in it. But you're getting beat up all the time. You're being forgotten of. People will forget about you. Like this old school hammer, man. But it's still here. It's still surviving. It's still doing what it came here to do. And I have it right here, just ready to go. And just as a reminder of just what entrepreneurship means to me, and that you still wake up, you still grind, you show up, you put in the work, and you're gonna have bumps and bruises, and people are gonna forget about you, and some people are gonna see shinier things and want to move on, and you're not it. But you stay focused on you. You stay focused on the reason why you showed up here, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why I got it. And so to me, it symbolizes entrepreneurship. I got this X right here, and really that's the multiplication symbol. And that's just a reminder that when I'm shaking hands with people and I'm doing deals, make it a purpose to constantly surround myself with multipliers. People who are going to push me to multiply my life, my personal life, my professional life. They can love me, but more what I'm looking for is to push me, help me be better, help me see gaps I don't see. Someone who's going to multiply my life. We can have people who add to our life, which I did a whole video on this too, who add, subtract, divide your life. But multipliers are hard to find. And once you find them, you'll know, because you don't talk much. Just like I was telling the story of the Mexican head honcho. I didn't talk much. He was a multiplier. He definitely pushed me to think different, to do different, to go bigger. And I want to consciously make that decision to constantly surround myself and my loved ones and my team with multipliers. So that's a tattoo of a multiplication symbol. And as you can see, it's like a rock. It's been here for a long time as well. It's got some cracks because it's tough to find. It's been around for a while, but that's my handshaking multiplication symbol, and that's what it means. All right, this candle right here. So this candle to me means a lot. When I first had my firstborn, I had full custody, and since she was 3 weeks old. So I didn't know, I was 19 or 20. I didn't know really what I was doing, who I even was. And I struggled. And this isn't a woe is me, pull out your violin. It isn't. But it's difficult when you're that age, because that age group of friends, they just want to go have fun. And when you have a kid you need to drag around, or like you can't go to a lot of places with a kid. So they drop you, right? They drop you and they do their own thing, which totally understand, right? So a lot of lonely nights, trying to figure out life. So I started writing. And in one of those writings, I wrote, I got a candle in the room life. I got a candle in the room life. I got a candle in the room life. Is it lit? A little bit, but maybe I see better, right? So I got a candle in the room life. I got a candle in the room life. I got a candle in the room life. Is it lit a little bit, but maybe I see better, right? And that was the point, right? Is that maybe I'm not supposed to see, why I'm struggling right now. I was on welfare, my daughter was on Medicaid. Maybe I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to see, and I'm trying to make things better for her and for me and the whole thing. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe there's a candle of life. And is it lit? A little bit. And you'll see the tattoo, it's lit just a little bit. Is it lit? A little bit. But maybe I see better, right? With the candle in the room life. Could you imagine the room of life? It's huge. It's got to be huge, right? A lot of dark corners. The only source of light is your candle. But maybe you're not supposed to see what's all the way in the future. Maybe you're not supposed to see what's the next week, tomorrow, in 5 minutes. And that's why I say maybe I see better with the light being dim. And maybe I need to accept that. And, writing helped me get through a lot, trying to figure that stage out and how to do it the right way, because I really wanted to be the freaking best. I wanted to be the best. Anyways, that's another video, but that's why that tattoo came about. It's the candle that I held up in life and still do. And you can ask my wife. I'm like, maybe there's a reason for it. Something hits us in the face. I'm like, maybe there's a reason for it. So, and it's really carried with me, but That's the point of that. And if you look, it is shining, right? It's shining on the beauty of that flower. It's shining on my firstborn because of the struggle. And it's also just shining up. And if you notice, it hits the family is thicker than blood. And it's going to the petal, as you could tell, or as you can see, it's only hitting one petal because that's the house that I raised my firstborn as much as I could. But yeah, so that's what the candle is. That's what the candle means. All right, so I got one more. And no, I don't. I got two more. And I'm going to just do this one real quick. It's palm trees. So I got this, and I want to say we were in Myrtle Beach, my wife and I, and it was our first day out together without kids. And that's another story, what our oldest did. But yeah, it was our first day, no kids. It's cool because my wife's getting more tattoos, but it's just simple that, like, man, we need to enjoy ourselves. We need to enjoy this trip, this journey that we're all on, and maybe go on more vacations and just enjoy. Like it's a palm tree, right? So it symbolizes vacation, calmness, listening to the water, listening to the air, listening to the wind, and being in the moment with somebody you love, even if that's just you. You can love yourself, you should be loving yourself. But that was a reminder, right? It was pretty cool. She got hers on her foot, but that's why I have that. And we're going to get more little ones like that, almost collecting our story through tattoos. Like the next one we're going to get is an RV, is our RV logo, because that's cool. And we're probably going to be traveling with that thing in the future. But anyways, that's what the palm trees mean. And then you got this one, and this one's pretty cool. I love this one. If you look at it, there's a lot of symbolism in it. So you have the flower at the bottom again, which is my buddy's signature flower. He's the one who did the tattoo. He's wearing a suit with a tie, which is my favorite knot, by the way. He's got the knot in, real thick knot. That's how I used to wear my ties. He's just very old school looking, 1920s. Because of what, to me, that meant was you respected how you carried yourself, you respected your word, other people's, like the whole meaning and symbolism of a nice suit. And I wanted him to wear that. And as you see, his face is gone. His face is gone. And instead, you see the universe. You see Saturn, maybe Neptune's up there. See a few stars. Let's say Mars. We'll say Mars for Elon Musk. That's Mars because we're going there soon. But the reason why I replace his face with the universe is because it's a reminder to think bigger. And what's bigger than the universe? The universe is expanding at light speed all the time. So it's ever expanding. That's huge. And so it's a reminder, think big, think bigger, right? And I got this right here, right? It says think bigger as well. It says think bigger. See? Think bigger. But this is in his head. He's thinking bigger and thinking bigger. But none of that matters until you take action. And so if you look close in the constellation, you'll see the 1 is greater than 0 in the stars. And what that means is something is better than nothing. What that means, take action. Move forward. Start building momentum. You can think bigger and you can think of great ideas, but that doesn't mean much unless you put it into action. I was talking to one of my coaching clients today, and they're like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to fail at this, which was one of the action items. I was like, who cares? It's momentum. And momentum comes with energy. And if we can keep pulling that energy forward, then we're going to be in the place that we all wanted to be. So it's take one step forward. Just take one step, man. And that's what it is. It's think big and carry the same vision of that old school man who really does what he says he's going to do. Carry that with you and also take action. As you can see, it's in the stars. And I talk about this a lot to other people is, what is your northern star? Which, if you look at it, it's you can tell which one's the northern star. Meaning, why are you doing what you do? You're talking to a guy who had no idea what he was going to do, and only found one step at a time means to get out of my current situation. And I took each one of those steps. But I stay focused on my northern star, whatever that was at the time. So It's important to focus on your Northern Star, take action, think big, and that's why that is. That concludes this video. I just wanted to go over some of the tattoos. I always think about the meaning behind other tattoos. There's always a story, guys. Just ask. I mean, for me, I love telling the story. No one asked me though. Nobody ever asked me unless it's another tattoo person, but I never get those questions. But to me, they mean a lot to me. It's my story being told through my tattoos, and I'm never going to stop. I love tattoos, and you know, I'm curious on what yours mean. Tell me in the comments below. Did this help you in some way? If so, cool. Let me know as well. And if you want to get tattooed in some of our great tattoo shops, come to Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'll show you what's up. I'll invite you to some of these tattoo shops and you could choose one or whatever, but I want to be there with your journey too. Yeah, if you just want to keep following our journey, obviously we're documenting our journey on YouTube as well. You can see some of the videos over here. And thanks for listening to my story, and more to come.